In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to stop or at least cover gun bunch with the double mug mid blitz meta. I've got the Charlotte bunch booted up here, which is one of the better ones in the game. And first and foremost, let's just talk about your personnel and all that. The biggest thing here is we're going to be using mid blitz for this, so you don't really need to turn on or flip off. You don't really need to disable this motion response. For the option stuff, there's not a lot of RPOs in bunch, but if you want to, you can set these. I normally go conservative, aggressive, aggressive, or conservative, conservative, and then down here, you don't really need to mess with your safety depths either because you are in a cover zero defense. And we're going to do everything out of this mid blitz. So I'm going to give you a couple of simple defenses that are really good for gun bunch, and then I'm going to give you some stuff that is a little bit more complicated. Now, if you enjoy this video and you learn something useful, make sure that you join our free school community. It's completely free to you. I post free tips and tricks just like this, maybe even a little better than this, in our free school community. So if you're not a member yet, it's completely free to you. You can sign up in the description down below. Now, as you see here, we have mid blitz, and we just want to quickly go over like what are our pressure tools within this defense. For the most part, the way that you want to run this defense is you want to essentially bring your user over the center just like this. And the first way I want to do it is a basic send 4. Now, the way that I like to send 4 is I like to engage with the center. So we're going to drop this defensive end and man coverage on the running back. And then with this defensive tackle, we're going to put him in a vertical hook to the left. You could also bluff blitz him like this, and then you can put your user on whatever you want. Now, as you see, I have a lot of coverage over the middle of the field, so I'm going to route commit everybody here to the outside. If you want to, you can route commit the solo wide receiver to the inside. That's a pretty standard thing. And then you're going to stand over the center, hold left trigger, you're going to hit the center, pop off, and as you see, you're going to get good four-man pressure off of that right side. So you have that nice four-man pressure where we can always kind of give them the threat of good pressure that they're going to have to set up protection for. Another great pressure out of this double mug is to simply route commit. Really, you can route commit however you want to, but in this case, we'll route commit to the outside again. We'll individually route commit this solo guy to the inside, and then we're going to drop both of these linebackers into hard flats. We are going to then select the Texas four-man stunt, and at the snap of the ball, we are just going to get out of there. And this is a great send 4 as well because it disengages and gets a lot of good pressure anyway. So you have those couple ways in which you want to send 4. The only other way that I like to send, this is pretty much the only way that I'm going to send 4 out of this formation. The only other way that I was thinking is just your basic send 4 where you just send it like this. But these are kind of the send 4 pressure variations. And we talk about coverage. Obviously, you want your coverage to kind of fit your pressure. So one of my favorite coverages in this game for gun bunch is what I'm about to show you. We're going to go with a hard flat here on the left side. We're going to go with a middle third here to the right side. And then we are going to take this, or I'm sorry, we're going to go with a deep half here to the right or to the left-hand side. And then we're going to come backside here with a cover 2 shell for bunch. Now, the reason I like this in particular shell is because it is kind of a hybrid cover 2 shell. The only real thing you have to worry about is a post on the backside. So I'm going to man my user up on him. And if he does run a post, then I'll switch stick off of him. And then if you want to drop the defensive tackle into that 3 rec or yellow, you can get some extra coverage on the field. But this just covers a lot of what they want to do in bunch. Pretty standard combo is what I'm about to show you here. You're going to see that this does a really good job of covering it. And then you're able to also get pretty decent pressure from this one. So that's one of the easiest shells that you can run against bunch. Another one, if you wanted to user the slot corner instead of the safeties, this will give you a little bit more flexibility for zone. You can actually go into a coverage that looks, basically like this right here. What's nice about this one is you're going to kind of be that vert hook on the left, and then you're still able to get pretty good yellow zone coverage here on the left and the right side, and you're only sending 4, but now you're going to engage with your slot corner, pop off, you got the pressure, and you see that we're able to cover a lot of the field just with that one simple strategy. Another strategy that I really like for bunch is manning up the solo side and playing zone on the opposite side. So again, we're just going to utilize that cover 2 shell. Now, the biggest thing you have to worry about with this is any kind of crosser over the middle of the field. You're going to kind of be responsible for that. I typically will just man my user up to the slot corner in case he does run a route. And I'll normally send 5 with this kind of setup here just because it allows me to send 5. And then if they do run like a verticals or, something with this slot receiver running across the field, then I could easily, kind of get back onto that or just switch stick off and get back there anyway. So that's another shell that I like. Another really good shell, in my opinion, out of the Sin 6 is literally just straight man coverage. But what you want to do is you want to route commit everybody to the outside, and then you're going to individually route commit that receiver, individually route commit the solo wide receiver inside. And essentially, this is a really, really good blitz. It's very simple, but it's very, very effective. And you can just get a lot of really, really fast pressure. Obviously, if the running back goes out, you've got to user him. But this is one of the better ways to, just again, simple pressure for bunch. Another one of my favorite coverages against bunch is, it's going to sound kind of crazy, but if they do not have a takeoff on that solo wide receiver side, you can do this. If they do have a takeoff, what I want you to do is simply just back off this outside guy. But basically, we're going to press. We're going to essentially play 2-man under, but we're only going to play the safety on the bunch side. So it's going to look like this. And then our safety is going to be a robber in the middle of the field. When you do this, what I tend to do is I'm going to route commit. I'm still going to route commit outside, and I'm still going to shade underneath. And then I'm going to have my user on, some type of zone over the middle. This is where I'll use that Texas 4-man stunt. And what you're going to see here on the left side is if they have a takeoff, it's one thing. But if they don't have a takeoff, this is going to be really, really, really effective. This press coverage this year is really good. If they do have a takeoff, though, you're going to see sometimes he can get over. But as you see right there, like if I get a press on him, he's really not going to be able to get over the top of that corner. And it's a great way to play defense in this year's game. If they do have a takeoff, all I want you to do is just back this guy off. I'll cross-band my user onto this guy, and we'll actually put him into a either deep half or outside third. This is kind of a hybrid 2-man under, but it is really effective. And the reason this is so effective is because we can switch stick to the backside deep half, and then our user is probably not going to get beat. If the left side guy just runs a streak, then we can just let the deep half handle that, and then we can kind of get into our other stuff. This is really good for combos like this at a deep corner. And again, you want to route commit everybody to the outside, and then if you are manning up that backside guy, I would route commit him to the inside. But you'll see we're just going to send 4, and you're able to kind of defend a lot of the field with this basic kind of coverage adjustment. So those are some of my favorite coverage adjustments for Gun Bunch in this year's game. I think one of the other ones that is really good is this back off deep half. There's so many things we can do around it. Another thing we can do is we can kind of protect ourselves from being bombed by cover 2, and we could go with a defense here, where we're going to actually put a lot of coverage on the field. We're only going to send only going to send forward. We're only going to send them off of this left side edge. So what I'll do when I do that is I'll put my user in a curl flat and shade underneath. So now he is going to be in a hard flat. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to, if they do run like a drag route, let's say like a bench pivot or something, where they're running this drag, then I can just switch stick off of this hard flat and get on to whoever I want to get onto on this left side. So you see here, we'll put this guy in a hook curl, get the pressure, see that, and then I can switch stick to one of the yellow zones over the middle of the field. So these are some of my favorite strategies for defending Gun Bunch in this year's game. I think one of the easiest ones, though, is the simple cloud flat. And then what I would do on this backside is back this guy up if they have a takeoff. You can put him on really anything, but I really love this cover two in the bunch side this year. I think it's fairly effective. It's really effective if you man up the slot receiver and then you drop that defensive end in the vert hook. This is going to give you a lot of really, really good coverage on that bunch side, and it just makes it hard for them to be able to attack you. And then if you wanted to, obviously, you could even do it like this, where we drop these linebackers. So a hook curl like that, you're still able to kind of get this coverage to a pretty good place that's going to do good against a lot of different things. And you're still only having to send 4, but you're going to really bag that slot receiver which is really the most important receiver in the formation. So I want to thank you for watching this video. If you want to take your game to the next level, join our school community. It's completely free to you, and it gets you access to all of our exclusive tips over there and mini schemes and things that can help you get better. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description below.